Hello. Welcome to episode 523 of Prog. Today, as I promised, I'm continuing talking about Vivian Stanshall's Teddy Boys Don't Knit, which is his third solo album, but I like to think of it as his second. Don't ask. Released in 1981, I believe, on the Charisma label, and it's a lovely sleeve. It was actually painted by Mr. Stanshall himself back in the day. So yeah, and that's old Viv at Southend on Sea, one of my favourite places. It's the seaside, isn't it, son? Get yourself a Ross's ice cream. I'd known this album for many years, and it's, again, this is like almost like the flip side to Men Opening Umbrellas Ahead, which is an album I have not a lot of love for. This album I have a lot of love for, so we'll just give it 5 ginger geezers out of 5 and be done with it. That's 5 ginger geezers out of 5 and we're done. That's it. But we'll talk about the record. Like I say, this is released in 1981, and it's I think it's more, I'd say it's more in line with what he did with the Bonzo Dog Band. Again, you have people like Ollie Housel, Richard Thompson, John Halsey, Neil Innes, Roger Ruskin Spear, and even Rick Wakeman appears on this record. So there's a familiar roster of musicians, and again, the style and the lyrical content is more akin to the Bonzos, and I get it. He sings in a language that I understand, especially when it comes to stuff like Ginger Geezer. Opens with King Cripple, which is a very is it tasteless? It's about a band with their various ailments, their various disabilities, and you probably couldn't get away with it now. Slave Vows, again, there's a lot of stuff on here that's kind of autobiographical, like Gums and The Tube, which is about his new baby, which is it's good stuff. It is a personal album. Again, I mean, Men Up Opening Umbrellas is a personal album too, but the I don't know, it's not, this isn't as dark. It touches on darkness with Smoke Signals at Night and Fresh Faced Boys, that kind of thing, but it's not as there's more humour in this. And again, it's one of those records, because Stanshall plays with language. It's very detailed, works on many levels, and that's where the humour is. And you think it's one of those albums that bears repeated listening, because some of the gags, you don't go in the first time and you go, it's like with Terry Keeps His Clips On. You think, talks about, you think about bicycle clips, but there's also something called Terry Clips. And that's where, there's, I mean, it took me a long time to figure that out. They're Terry Clips. Terry Keeps His Clips On. Terry, that's what it's called. Yeah, and that's how it works. There's a lot of that in here. I mean, Ginger Geezer itself, that song is written in rhyming slang, Cockney rhyming slang, which again, I'm a descendant of a Cockney, a true Cockney who was born within the sound of Bow Bells. I'm not a Cockney myself, but my grandmother was, and so all that lingo, all the slang, it's my language, it's what I'm familiar with, and so a song like Ginger Geezer just resonates with me at a cultural level. So I have a lot of, and again, even like I say, just him being associated with Southend on Sea. I mean, he comes out of Wood Street in Walthamstow, again, where we used to do a lot of our second-hand record shopping and that, and I had a friend who lived that way. And then Southend-on-Sea is a place where we used to go in the summer holidays. My nan used to take me there for an ice cream, and play on the arcade games and go on the rides and stuff. So, it's a very familiar album, and it's nice. I mean, this is what I mean about music having a cultural, cultural resonance of records. And again, I don't expect somebody from another part of the world to get this record or understand any of it. It's like me trying to understand country and western. I don't get it. I'd have to learn that culture where this isn't learnt. This is part of your growing up, if you know what I mean. I am getting off the topic. I'm drifting away. So there's a lot of great songs on here that I like. Calypso to Calypso, The Tube, Gums, Slow Vowels. Flung a Dummy, which is about somebody dying on a bus. His first experience of death, close up. But again, I don't know if it happened to him or a friend, but he heard this term. He flung a dummy. It's not a real term. It's not a term that I'd ever heard before. But again, it reminds you of your first experience of death. And I actually, again, going back to Southend-on-Sea, it always reminds me when we were at the seaside, and an old lady was taken ill and basically died in front of us. My nan was trying to help and get assistance because she saw this woman come over ill, and she got jammed between the sea wall and a lamppost. She kind of fainted and got kind of stuck. It's just coming back to me just talking about it, and I remember my nan calling for help, and it's very strange because you see the life just drain out of this woman. And afterwards, my nan said, she popped her clogs. That's the term we would probably use rather than flung a dummy. And again, hearing that song reminds me of that. And so there's lots of weird kind of synchronicity almost in the memories here. And yeah, songs like Terry Keeps His Clips On, which are ludicrous but good fun, used in the was it in the Hitachi advert? No, Toshiba. With his new Toshiba, Again, Vivian Stanshall's done a lot of adverts back in the day. He did the Toshiba advert, Ruddles advert with Dawn French, Mini Eggs with Mr. Cadbury's parrot, and of course, that was what. Was it Tenants? Was it a Tenants advert? It was a lager advert he did. It's good, but not that good. I can't remember the name of the product. That's where advertising fails you, isn't it? And what I like again towards the album, this is what I love about it is the structure of the album. It just fits. It's one of those albums that just flows. It all fits together really well. The track listing is perfect. I like that, where it just all fits together like a jigsaw. It just all dovetails together nicely, and it ends with a track called Nouveau Reef. Again, playing on the idea of nouveau riche. Somebody new money, and because new money makes people ostentatious and ridiculous. And here it's a song of a rock star told from the perspective of his minder, and he's going to basically exploit this rock star. It's about exploitation. Again, very dark. And considering that, at the end of his life there was talks of him being exploited by various people that he was allowed into his home, I find it almost prescient. It's almost like that's how it's going to be, And but I love the riff on it. Again, Nouveau Riff. I love the sax riff. It's just, I don't know. It's just perfect. It's just a really great song. It ends the album magnificently. So yeah, if you like the Bonzos, and you've not really checked out, or you've just known from Rawlinson's End or the other Sir Henry albums, and you're not familiar with this one, you must go and buy a copy. You must, I insist. If you want to know what kind of stuff I like, if you want to get to the nub of the Locke experience, you must go and listen to this album, because it's like I say, I feel it as part of my DNA for some reason. I have a lot of fondness for it. Yeah, so that's that. I think that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. It's alright. My name's been Darren Locke. I've already rated it, so I don't need to rate it again. And I've been talking about Teddy Boys Don't Knit. Also, I was taught to knit by my grandmother as well, you see. I was never a teddy boy, but I was taught to knit. I don't know if that's an East End thing or whatnot, but give me. I've probably forgotten how to do it now, but I used to be able to knit when I was 10 years old. So anyway, only one more thing to say, and that is prog on.